do have some breaking news coming into the newsroom out of Gilroy's Garlic Festival, to be exact. We do want to warn you, what we are about to tell you is very serious. There is report of an active shooter situation, and we do have multiple ambulances on the scene as we speak. If we can take a look at some pictures, these are video images from a Twitter user that came in earlier this evening. There were reports that came in at about 5:45 of an active shooter situation. As of right now, we do not have confirmed the number of injuries, the number of people who have been killed, if any, but you can see the chaos from all of those festival goers on this hot Sunday, this last day of the Gilroy Garlic Festival.
Here at the Gilroy High School, a lot of people kind of just sitting around waiting to hear exactly what's going on. A lot of questions still that are needing answers to, but you can see on scene there's plenty of emergency crews here. I see the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office, fire crews, EMS, everyone here just waiting at this moment. We also hear there's a helicopter in the sky getting a bird's eye view of everything going on. We are still trying to get these answers, but I can tell you from being on scene earlier today, my family arrived to the Gilroy Garlic Festival just as it opened. Throughout the day, crowds and crowds of people. The heat did not keep people from the festival. Of course, it was the last day today. When we left around 3, it was packed. It was hard to get through the crowds. I can say that when we first arrived, we went through a security check where we opened up our purses and we went through the entire security check, and that was something that is pretty common throughout these big festivals.
We do want to give you some information coming in right now from ABC7 News reporter Dan Noyes, who has confirmed from a source of his that at least a dozen people have been injured, but less than 40. That is a very wide range. Also, his source is saying that there is someone dead.
So I'm here with Rudy Sandoval. He said that he was there. He was only a couple of feet away from where the shooter was at. He speaks English. He speaks Spanish. Rudy, explícame qué fue lo que viste.
Mira, lo que oíamos nosotros pensamos que eran fireworks, que estaban cohetes, porque era casi final de el festival.
He said that what he heard sounded like fireworks. That's what they thought. It was the end of the festival, and they thought that that's what they were hearing in the moment. ¿Cómo cuántos tiroteos escuchaste?
Muchos. Pensamos que eran fireworks, entonces cuando yo volteé hacia afuera estaba en mi booth. Entonces, cuando volteé afuera, vi a la gente con cara de asustada, no contenta, y gente corrieron a mi booth, se aventaron bajo las mesas, otros cayeron sobre mí, y todos nos tiramos así, y más bien a alguien que iba pasando, chuteando así,
Okay.
Pero ya de ahí vimos que no eran cohetes porque estaba el tipo.
So he's explaining to us that he was at his booth and he started hearing what he thought were fireworks, and then he saw somebody walking around with a firearm, and in that moment he saw people jumping on his booth. He saw people coming, try to hide under his booth.
And Ellie, that bump that you pointed out, that was suffered in your escape.
Yes, I think I get hit the table or something. Table fell to my face. I don't know, because so fast, you know. They grab me. Go down, like that, you know. Because they're so close. If I'm still standing, then maybe I die.
This band that I'm going to introduce to you right here, this is Christian, this is Jack, and this is Bill. You guys were on stage in that exact moment. What did you hear? What did you see?
Okay, we were on stage. We were doing an encore at the Vineyard stage, and I heard a pop. And it didn't sound right to me, so I turned in the direction of the pop, and I saw a gentleman in a green top with a gray handkerchief kind of around his neck and what appeared to be an assault rifle. And
a rifle?
Well, I'm not a gun guy, so it looked like a rifle. It was bigger than a pistol, smaller than a hunting rifle, and he was slapping the magazine. Evidently, it was jammed or something. I don't know. And then he started shooting again in the direction of where all the food people were dining. And I said, guys, off. And we cleared the stage at that point and ducked under the stage so we wouldn't be visible.
Did it seem like he had a target, or was he just doing this?
From my perspective, look, he was just firing into the biggest bunch of people he could find.
Well, Dion, we're at Santa Clara Valley Medical Center here in San Jose, and we do know that there are some victims here, including a 12-year-old girl from the area. These are her cousins, some of whom live here in the San Jose area, and Gabriel Palacio, who lives in Mexico and is visiting with a huge group of family. You said a group of your family, 30 of you, were eating today at the Garlic Festival, and what happened?
Well, basically some random dude just started shooting. Like, he just pulled out a gun and we were just eating right there.
So you and your cousins were eating at a table. You started to hear the gunfire. Did you see the shooter?
Yeah, he just like shoot once and then he like stopped and then he just started shooting repeatedly.
What did he look like? What was he wearing?
He had a cap and a bulletproof vest, but I don't really know anything else. And obviously his gun.
I know you told me that at first you thought it was a balloon, right? Because why would you ever expect there to be a shooting at a garlic festival? When did you realize that it was gunfire and that you were in danger and you needed to leave?
Well, first off, because everyone freaked out. Like, I didn't, but then the guy actually popped out and he had the gun and everything, so I just knew.
New information now from a Gilroy City Council member. We do have numbers. We do know now, during this active shooter situation, the casualties are as follows. 3 are dead, 12 are injured, and 1 suspect is in custody.
This is Litzy Monquia. Litzy is one of the vendors. She was there and she was telling me off camera the horrible moments that she lived just a couple hours ago. She believes that she met eyes with the shooter. Litzy.
Well, as I was walking right there, and my boyfriend pushed me to the stand, so nothing would happen, as we've seen the shooter shooting everywhere. And when we were right there, the shooter, I feel like he made direct eye contact because she was shooting everywhere, and I feel like he made direct eye contact with me. I was on my phone. I was trying to get a picture of him, but I wasn't able to capture a picture of him. And, well, we were right there, and I feel like he made eye contact with me. I felt like he wanted to go that way towards us because the stand where my boyfriend pushed me out, everyone was stuck down, laying down, but you could still see everybody on the floor. And I wasn't even able to sit down on the floor, lay down on the floor because of how packed it was right there.
Dan Ashley, of course, joining me now on set. Dan, can you give me an idea, your first initial response when you heard what happened?
Well, you know, we have endured these kinds of tragedies in the Bay Area, 101 California many years ago, the Milk Moscone murders, the shooting at the University in Oakland some years ago. So we have endured these kinds of things before and we'll endure this again. But what is so striking, Dion, is one never knows in this complicated age we live in when something like this might happen. We all kind of live in a bubble and like to think it won't happen here. These folks who have enjoyed the Gilroy Garlic Festival, many for the first time, many for many, many years, were just out with their families to have a great time, and suddenly a couple of people perpetrate this horrible tragedy. So my initial impression was, oh no, not again.
Dan and Dion, you were talking about how cell phone video and pictures fill in the gaps here, help tell the story. Well, here's something else that does. That's broadcast audio that we have from first responders and law enforcement. You'll hear in this, they talk about people who were injured as well as a suspect. Take a listen.
Chestnut, Los Alamos, Sunrise, time 47, active shooter at the Garlic Festival. You could start that way.
Gilroy Fire, Battalion 47 responding.
Battalion 47, affirmative. We're getting numerous calls on it. PD is advising that it's possibly a shooter south of Miller in the creek, wearing camouflage and a boonie hat. You do have 1 victim at Miller and Yuba so far. Updating report, 2 wounded at beer booth 3.
The suspect was shot and killed. It appears as if though they had come into the festival via the creek, which borders a parking area, and they used some sort of a tool to cut through the fence.
Amanda Del Castillo is live at Gilroy High School, one staging area for first responders near the festival. Amanda.
Yeah, Gilroy police say at least a dozen agencies have responded to today's incident, including agencies from Santa Clara County and Monterey County. Now, while it's been pretty calm at this staging area, in the last 30 minutes, we did see 3 buses, charter buses full of people, travel away from the Garlic Festival grounds. We're just standing a few hundred feet from that entrance. Now, it's unclear who was on that bus at the time, but we do know it was likely the vendors. All day outside of this specific staging area, there has been about 30 vendors all on their phones, all waiting to hear when they would have access back into the festival. They say they dropped everything and ran to escape. And in that time, they left their cars, they left all of their belongings, and a lot of them were traveling from elsewhere.
It's incredible to hear those testimonies by all those people and just to hear the pain that they speak with. And you know, what you don't see on TV is how these people are shaking when they're telling me everything they had to see, everything they had to hear.
That's right, Dion and Dan. 7 gunshot victims were taken here to Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, and I'm told that fortunately 1 patient was actually already discharged tonight, and the remaining 6 patients who are here are everywhere from fair to critical conditions.
ABC 7 News reporter Melanie Woodrow. She's in the newsroom once again with more from the grandmother of one of the young victims. Melanie.
Dan and Dion, as you've been saying, this was supposed to be a day of family fun. Lots of people there with their loved ones and, of course, a lot of very young children. And one of the youngest victims in all of this, just 6 years old. One of our photographers, Alex Gray, spoke with that 6-year-old's grandmother a short time ago at the hospital. She described the moments of finding out that her grandson had been shot and killed.
I would never think in my life that I could go through something like this, but this is... I don't have words for this. I cannot describe the way I feel right now.
What we have not yet heard, because we simply don't know and the gunman is now dead, is why in the world would someone do this? We appreciate your taking time to stay with us here as we try to bring you the latest information. ABC 7 Morning News will have more for you, the very latest at 4:30. But for now, I'm Dan Ashley.
And I'm Dion Lynn.